Hello and welcome to the Early Years Staff Meeting Podcast with Sarah, Keely and Steph, the place where you can listen, learn and laugh with us about all things early years. Today we'll be discussing the Coronation.
Yay! Woo!
The good old Corrie Bobs.
Corrie Bobs.
as I've seen it, I've seen it trending. Not that I'm a trend follower by any means, but I feel like I'm trying to make Corrie Bobs happen because
you are. You've mentioned it a few times.
and stop trying to make Corrie Bobs happen. I really want it to happen because we love a coronation. We love a royal event in England, don't we? In Britain,
Yeah. It makes us feel united. I think just for a week. And then afterwards we carry on being moaning and
very British of us to unite just for the royal family and then back into
back to normal again.
But I guess the last experience the children might have had of anything to do with the royal family was when the Queen passed away.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was really sad.
It was a really sad time, and obviously we did have to discuss it with the children. And then it leads on to the dead off, what we like to call the dead off.
Every time.
Yeah.
So the Queen's died, but then the children will get their 2 pence in, and my gerbil died.
Yeah.
My granddad died.
It goes back to what they know, don't they? What they've experienced of it, and back to their egotisticalness, bless them, of something has happened to me. But it's not just one, is it? You have one, and then it kind of tumbleweeds, and then that's it.
They have to top each other each time, so it gets worse and worse. So you go from like goldfish, and then they start saying like granddads and parents have died. Perhaps when they haven't actually died, in order to be the top winner of the dead off.
We've had that a few times, so we've had to say, right, okay, stop, guys. How about we talk about something else about the Queen? Let's get back to her again.
I know. And then you start teaching, and 10 seconds in, someone just has to go, yeah, well, my auntie died. You're like, just let that one go. Carry on.
We love that, but we're in the middle of this. We can't possibly stop right now. Yeah.
Bless him.
Yeah.
But then we've got to always remember we've all got to wear that, as you're saying, coming together, we wear that red, white and blue, which quite a few schools are going back to, wear red, white and blue. I must say, I have had a Spider-Man. And I did ask, just said, hello, Spider-Man. He said, well, I'm wearing red, white and blue. I said, yeah, you're completely
can't argue with that.
Right. No, we accept all. In you come.
Was it a child wearing a Spider-Man costume, Keely?
Yeah, a child.
It was a parent.
Well, you never know. Some of them really like to ham it up.
Well, I say it could even be a teacher. We've had them before. They've come in as other things, but not Spider-Man. However, we do know that you have dressed up as something, haven't you, Steph?
Oh yes. Well, there was. I feel like it was probably was it 2012? There was a Jubilee, wasn't there? So we're going back some time. It was the Diamond Jubilee at that point. And I was working at a different school, and I'd organised a whole school picnic. So I felt like we needed a VIP at this picnic to make it really work. So it fell down to me to dress up as the Queen. So there I was on the playground with my Queen mask, a red piece of velvet that I'd stolen from someone's cupboard that had obviously gone onto a display or something at some point, and just walking around doing the royal wave. A lot of children, were quite happy to wave along, but then, they didn't quite buy into it. A lot of them did think it was me. No, it was me, but I played along.
Did you do the special wave?
Yes, I had the special wave. I had the voice. I had the accent. I was fully embracing my queenness, walking around.
I think the children like it though. I think they do into it a little bit. They know it's you, but
even when they know it's you,
it's
like when you do the role play and you think, right, I'm just going to pop out here, and you go into the cupboard and you come out and you've got a headscarf over you and you're Mrs. Wishy Washy or something, and they know it's you, but they play along, and we all have a bit of a giggle. It's lovely.
Well, I have to say, I think it was that time, 2012, when in my previous school we were celebrating. Was it the Diamond Jubilee? Is that what it was? I think it was. And we had to go out onto the field, the whole school, because someone had got a drone. Now, drones were like the new tech then.
Well, in 2012.
They're like birds flying in the sky. But back then, they had to have this drone, and they had somebody come with the drone to protect it.
Like a security guard.
Yeah, because it was so expensive. And we had to parade out onto the field with big pieces of coloured paper, and we had to form the Union Jack as we sat down with the pieces of paper on our head, and the drone was going to take a picture of us, and it would look like the Union Jack.
I mean, that must have been so easy for 3 to 5 year olds.
Do you know what? It really wasn't. It was basically they all went running onto the field, wide open space, so they had to fill it. So they all ran onto there, and we managed to hurry them and sit in this certain way. And of course, you got a lot of children. It takes time to sit them. Of course, they didn't want to sit still, did they? And they just kept running off with their bits of paper flapping around like they were kites. Oh my gosh! It was like cue the Benny Hill music. It was literally herding cats. And finally, we managed to get the drone up in the air, and it took a photo, and we were like, oh, thank goodness. And then it turned out later on, when the photo came through, that you couldn't actually see the colours of the paper from above.
Because drones were that bad in those days.
Yeah, exactly, because the technology was in its infancy.
Yeah.
So they had to then Photoshop.
Black and white photo.
Exactly. They had to Photoshop every single piece of paper painstakingly to make it the right colours.
And I bet that photo took pride of place in the hallway for many years.
I'm sure it is probably still there as we speak, but and I used to walk past it and go, oh, and it just to bring back, I don't know, like anxiety pangs in my stomach, just the trauma of getting those children. And I worked in nursery at the time, so that just tells you everything.
And speaking of trauma around the Jubilee, I remember many times just having to dye a lot of pasta and rice.
Rice, yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of times.
Your hands are stained.
I've dyed a lot of pasta over the years.
Red, white, and blue.
They are for days.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, at least it's in the theme.
I've got a better way now. Just use a good old bag. Don't like zippy bags. Don't even have to touch it anymore.
Oh.
You put them in a zippy bag, squirt your paint in, give it a good thing. They're done.
Well, the recipe I had, it said you had to bake the rice in the oven. It used to stink.
Oh, the rice you
I've
do.
seen that one as
the
well.
The rice you do, but not the pasta. The rice you bake.
Yeah, I had my oven turned up too high.
The red one smells.
The what?
I don't do red anymore. The red one, I've gone off red now, so it's just white and blue. The red one fills your house with this awful smell because I think the dye is like a beetroot or something. And
I was going to say, is it a beetle?
Yes,
it's going to be cochineal.
Is it?
Cochineal beetle.
That's it.
It's it's like beetroot and beetle. There you go. So that smell like fills your house because you have to do it on a really low heat.
Yeah, see, that's where I went wrong. See, I'm one of those people that doesn't look at the temperatures and it's just 200 degrees everything. No, so that's probably why my rice
chicken nuggets, casserole, dry rice.
Yeah.
200 degrees, done.
But I think I don't think I'll be getting out the dyed rice this year to make pasta. A Union Jack. No.
Well, it does feel a little bit like soul destroying. You take that photo where it looks beautiful as the red, white and blue in the Union Jack, and a Union Jack is a pretty tricky thing to get right going with all the diagonals. Yeah. It's not like the French flag, three rectangles. Oh
exactly.
no,
easy peasy.
We complicate things in this country.
Yeah.
You take that photo, don't you? And then what happens, Steph?
Well, the children just destroy it within about 30 seconds.
Because so Steph, what are you going to do instead of that lovely rice and pasta?
Well, as it happens, Keely, here at the Early Years podcast, staff meeting podcast, we've come up with a few alternatives, haven't we?
For a stress-free coronation.
Yeah.
This is all for our listeners to save their bank holidays, doing things that they love rather than thinking about what activities to do. And we've devised a little collection of activities that are not only, time-saving activities in terms of what it takes to set them up, but they're skills-based. We've stripped it back. We thought about, well, what does it actually mean to the children? What are they going to get from it? We've just put together not an exhaustive list of things to do, but just a little idea of things that we'll be doing, some of which we'll be doing, and that you could do in your settings. So, if you are interested in this, Sarah, where can we find it? Because as we know, you're the expert on.
You can go on our website, www.theearlyyearsstaffmeeting.com, and we have on the homepage, we have some menu options, and one of them is the shop. Now, it is a free resource, so you don't have to pay, but if you click on the shop section, you just it will come straight up, and you click on the picture and it will just download instantly onto your computer. And then if you're following us on Instagram, you can click our link in the bio and a little menu will come up and it will say shop and it will take you straight to the shop. So, yeah, easy peasy to find.
So what are some of the ideas that we came up with?
Well, my favourite is the crown making, because I think everybody's going to be making crowns. Yeah. I think that is going to be like the standard, like all children, probably all ages will be making a crown.
It's an across the board expectation.
Yeah,
from year 0 to year 6, everyone will be making a crown.
Yeah, because obviously he will be having that beautiful crown placed on his head, and when you think of royalty, you think of crowns, don't you? So that's what everyone will be making. Gold card will be hard to come by on Amazon.
But rather than using a pre-cut template or something like that, what we will be doing in our setting is actually showing the children how to create a crown using skills. So how to cut the crown out, how to measure the crown, either using maybe a piece of string to measure their head or just using the piece of paper, whatever it is you've got to make your crowns, to cut them out, to fasten them, and then to decorate them in their own way, so they'd each be able to produce their own crown using the skill of crown making.
And we like ours to all look unique, so not any one crown will be the same. It will literally be a, to some adults looking on, it might look a bit of a hodgepodge, but to the children, they've taken, they've used a lot of skills, and we have put the skills that they'll be using on the planning. So they're the skills that you will have to teach the children. So they are that's your teacher teaching for the week. But yeah, so they will feel really proud of themselves if they've independently used those skills to make their own crown, bless them.
Well, it's theirs then. It's individual. It's not like any others, is it? It's just theirs. And we've done things like that before, and they feel so proud of themselves. They've cut it out themselves. They've put it together. They've been able to fasten it. Some of them, they've done good old teamwork to check to see if it fits their head. Quite a few of mine last year were very good at that, to see, and they were working as a team to check to see if it was all right. And then someone would come across and, do you want me to put that together? Do you want me to cut that bit off because it's a bit long? And the amount of speech and everything you get from it, it's...
Yeah. And they're very reflective of the personalities of the children. So you'll always get
the glitter bombs.
The flamboyant, children in
ones
the class
with feathers.
Literally use every item, and it will be packed on that crown, and it literally will give them neck ache when they wear it. And then you'll get others who will literally, they don't, they want to just place a couple of items on there. They don't want to get gluey fingers. They're a bit sensory, have a bit of sensory needs. They just want to put a few things on, and then they're done. They're happy. So it definitely is reflective, I find, of their personalities.
But it's open for all of them, isn't it? As you said, if you've got children with sensory, they've still had to go at cutting it out. They've still had to go at maybe putting a few things on. But it's not that it has to look this way and it has to look that way, and you've got to wait until the end to make sure you've put 6 pieces on of this or whatever. It's how that they want to do it and how to represent themselves.
And the other one that obviously will be happening is tea parties. There'll be a lot of street parties hopefully going along, so we can reflect that in settings with little tea parties. But
I love the tea party.
I love a tea party. Now, whether that's a real tea party with real food or whether it's literally in your role play area, it's all the same resources, because in our settings we like to use real resources, don't we, ladies?
Yeah.
So out will come the China tea sets.
Good old China tea set.
And the cake stands and the bunting.
Can I add one to the cake stand? It's a little helpful tip, okay? I did spend a while making them, but they're very easy. Like, if you want your little cupcakes and stuff, because at a tea party, you always have a good old cake, especially us.
You got to. British institution,
Get a load of wooden doorknobs, and then I put Tipp-Ex to the top of them, put a little red dot on top with a pen, ta-da! You've got yourself a whole load of cakes. It's done.
Good idea, Keely.
Yeah.
I felt like you were going to say crochet them. We got a few crochet cakes, cupcakes floating around in the provision.
I think we do.
They do remind me of those. Ones. They do remind me of those breastfeeding.
They do, yeah. I know the one.
Double up. We could double up.
I know which ones you mean now, Steph. Yeah.
Multifunctional, but it is about trusting the children with those real ceramic teapots, and especially if you don't normally have that kind of thing out in your provision, because you're making the point that this is a special occasion. As long as you teach the children the rules of how to look after them, and that they're delicate and they need to be handled carefully, otherwise they will break. And if you model that in the way you handle them, and you model that play, there's no reason why early years children can't have those things in the setting.
Absolutely,
you do get breakages from time to time. That's part of life. I mean, I smash enough plates and bowls at home.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
Keely on the podcast, she smashed a plate last week.
And
we cut that bit out, but
it did break. But you don't
put it in the bloopers.
Tea set, do you? That's the thing. You go down to a good old car boot or your good old charity shop, and you can get a whole set for like £2 or £3.
Yeah.
So nan's getting upset about their tea set breaking.
No, exactly. And you can use them in the water tray, the sand. You can have Play-Doh, clay, plasticine. It's just to add that extra layer of sensory play, really. But it's our children love them.
Yeah,
I like playing with them too.
Yeah,
makes us feel British.
We've had real tea in the teapot before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
real tea. That was really interesting. Mm-hmm. The amount of children's faces when they tried it. Obviously, decaf tea. Can I just say we do use decaf, or we have used the nice herbal teas, haven't we? We tried one of them.
Yeah,
I think. All decaf. We just had.
Yeah, the fruit teas go down better than any of them.
Fruit teas. That's
they taste a little bit. Yeah, there's got no sugar in, but they taste a bit more palatable to the children.
Yeah. But they're always fun, aren't they, in the water tray? They love those, or just in a good old tough spot or whatever.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
Yeah, they're very versatile. Yeah. And, also, you could actually bake some real cakes, couldn't you, to go on those cake stands?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having your wooden cake boobies. You could have real cakes, and we like to teach our children how to bake cakes on their own, don't we, ladies?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We teach them how to they have weighing scales, don't they? They have the balancing scales rather than like a numbered scale, and they weigh everything, all the ingredients to the egg. So you put an egg in one side of the balancing scales, and then the children pour each ingredient and just make them balance, and then they put the dry ingredients into a bowl, and at the end they do their favourite bit, which is crack the egg and add the egg and most of the shell into the bowl.
You get a bit of extra crispy crunch to your cake.
You do, yeah. And then occasionally, if it's big enough, they might try and pick it out, but usually it does stay in. Bit of calcium into their diet. And then they just mix it into a batter, and then they scoop it out into the cake cases, and we put it into the oven. And you get some cake cases that are full to the brim, and they're spilling over onto the tray, and you get some that've got just like a mere little fine dusting of cake batter in. But it doesn't matter. It's it's the process, isn't it? It's not the end product.
But what fantastic discussion that comes from, you get them out the oven and one's still raw and one's burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can talk about why that has happened. It just sounds exactly like when I make cakes at home, to be quite honest with you. I haven't ever got any better than reception level at making cakes, but
but we have the process on a sheet, don't we? That's all visual.
Yeah, recipe,
with all photos.
Yeah,
and they just follow it themselves, and then you would hope that they go and then wash up their things afterwards. That's the bit they're not so good at, the choosing, the using, and then the putting away. It's the putting away that they still need.
Some children love washing up, don't they?
Oh my gosh, yeah, because it's water
you don't even need them to wash up. Yeah.
Scrubbing that spoon with an inch of its life. Yeah. It's like, I think it's done now. I can see your face in it.
Funny how a lot of them do not like drying up, though. Like at all.
But no one likes to dry up, really, do they?
No.
when I used to live at home, we were always made to dry up every single dish, and I used to hate drying up. And now I just leave everything to dry because it's more hygienic. I always leave things to air dry.
That's true.
I use my dishwasher still.
Well, I use that as well.
Yeah, so do I. I didn't like to.
No, I do, but not for everything. I don't put everything in the dishwasher. But anyway, we digress. We did find a really lovely new book for the coronation. It's called, and we popped it on the planning. It's called Charles III's Colourful Coronation. What we liked about this book was not only was it very simple, but also it gave them the vocabulary to do with the sort of the history aspects of the coronation. But all the illustrations are really lovely. They're very multicultural illustrations, which we liked. They showed a lot of people doing different jobs, and they were kind of illustrations that challenged things like gender stereotypes as well. But also it was just Camilla's face, Queen Camilla, as she will be. Queen Camilla looks absolutely disgusted in very many of the illustrations. Because in the story, King Charles is, he's leaping about. He's so happy that it's his coronation, and he can't wait to sort of get there and get out and meet the British public. And Camilla's just got this look of like, "What are you doing?" on her face the whole time, which we found quite hilarious.
We did. We played Spot Camilla, didn't we, on every page?
She's always there with a little bit of a concerned look, shall we say? But yeah,
we did. Yeah.
So if you are looking for early years level text, we can recommend that, and we'll pop it into it's on the planning, but we'll pop it into the show notes as well.
Yeah, we will.
We're not affiliated with it.
We're not.
It's just something that we found ourselves through our own research.
Yeah, and actually at the end it had like a little factual thing, didn't it, about the orb and the scepter and some of the ceremonial things that will be going on for young children.
But
actually, I didn't know anything about it, so I thought, every day's a school day, Sarah.
But it's in very simple language, isn't it? That
it is,
makes it accessible for our children. So check it out.
Yeah. And the author's been very kind to Charles's ears as well. I thought that was very, very, very sweet of her.
It sounds like this book isn't just, good for the kids and at that level for the children. It sounds like it's fun for all. You two seem to have enjoyed this book.
Like any text or film that's made for children, if you can get the adults in on the joke. Yeah. It's going to be.
So today is just a briefing about the coronation. So that's a wrap from us. But we would just love to for you to share how you got on with celebrating the coronation, and if you did download our planning document, how you found it, how the children enjoyed the activities. Maybe you, if you had some other child-led activities that you did that we haven't put on the plan, we'd also love to hear that, because those activities can be reused for other occasions. So yeah, that would be brilliant. So you can do that via our website, is earlieststaffmeeting.com, and you can go, if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you can click the link in the bio, and that will take us to our website, or you can slide into our DMs, as they say. You can message us. Yeah, you can message us. That would be lovely, or just post it. It's completely up to you whether you want to be anonymous or not. There we go.
But yeah, check it out, and it might save your bank holiday Monday from all that planning you were going to do. There's your planning. So go ahead and download it, and then enjoy your bank holiday, your extra double whammy of bank holidays this month.
Yeah, I know. Thank goodness it's, well, for me, extra report writing.
Oh, well, you're doing well. Because I haven't started yet, but
I say that, but I might not. I'll probably just end up doing gardening or chilling.
Absolutely. You need to take some time off.
I do. I definitely do.
I've got to go football all day tomorrow for a lovely tournament out in the rain. That's my lovely bank holiday.
Oh.
In the rain, watching football.
It could be worse, Keely.
Yeah. I'll have my wellies on and go splash in the puddles.
It's no different from any other day, is it? It really is. Anyway.
Well, exactly.
Well, happy Corrie Bobs, everybody.
Yeah, happy Corrie Bobs.
She's still trying to make it happen.
Hashtag Corrie Bobs. Be putting that on our Insta posts.
We will. We're trying to make a trend.
Try and do.
Okay, well, goodbye, everyone. Enjoy.
Bye.